It is something like this. Let me just show you. So this is your app, and this is the server. Okay, this is let's know Google server, or you have installed Google Maps here. You want to search the location, from direction, to direction, from here to here. How do I go there? This is the request. You are sending it to the server actually. Okay, when you type it, the request will be sent to the Google server. The Google server, upon receiving your request, right, the starting location, destination, and it will send you the map back to you. It will send you the response. You are sending the request using an API. Okay, you are sending an right. So in the application, the mobile app has some API. The Google Map API they would have integrated already. So that API takes care of sending your request to the Google server, and the request will be sent back to your mobile app. So right, once you receive this, you will get to know how long the distance is, which route you are supposed to take, which route is heavily congested, all those things, right? So okay, now you understood some extent what is an API. So API stands for Application Program Interface. See, you don't have to be aware of all these things, but if you know, once you get into the software, obviously if you know more, it will be good. Managers, everybody will like, even including customers, right? So if you have a lot of knowledge, technical knowledge, they will consider you as an asset. Okay, things went haywire. So okay, so I just thought of writing it here. Give me a second. Okay, I was this one, the stylus pen. I was using stylus pen, that was missing. Okay, no problem, I'll just type it here. See, it's something like this. This is it will send the request, and then the server send back the response. So this is my server. You assume that this is my Google. It could be either a Google server or some other weather site. Okay, weather.com. They have some dynamic web server. So what is a dynamic web server? Because weather will keep change every now and then, right? So this is your API. Using your API will send the request, and then the response will be sent back to your thing. Okay, so you remember this. So next one is REST API. We are talking about API now. We discussed about API. Okay, API is used to send and receive data between computers. You just think that way. Okay, what is REST API? REST API, REST API. It stands for Representational State Transfer. So the REST API, it defines a set of functions that programmers can use to send requests and receive responses using the HTTP protocol. So in this case, right, we use HTTP protocol. It uses the HTTP protocol, such as methods. HTTP protocol methods like get, put, post. Representational state transfer. So it is right. So the REST is a REST. We say REST. The first of all, 1 second. I'm just getting a lot of noise here. See, first of all, you understood what is API. Next, we will take a look at REST. We'll go step by step. Yeah, REST is an API. Okay, it's a representational state transfer. Right. So the REST API, it defines set of functions that the programmers can use it. Suppose you wanted to write some data in here. See here, in the case of API, you send the request, you get the response. Instead, you want to get some information, which is nothing but the response. Okay, you want to send a request and get the response. In addition to that, if you want to make some changes to the server. For example, you have a blog, right? So you have a blog and you want to make changes to your existing blog content. So that is when you will use something called post, function called post, using which there is a command called post, using which you can modify the blog and get is to get the response. I want to see a specific page of a blog, right? You will send. So the REST API is basically it allows the developers to send requests and receive responses using the HTTP protocols, protocol methods, HTTP protocol methods like get, put, post, and all. So how many of you are aware how the internet works? How many of you are aware of the internet? Right? So how many of you are aware? Right? So we are sending the request from our personal computer, right? And receives back the data from remote servers. That is what internet in a shell, right? So nutshell. For example, you want to search something, right? You want to see what is REST, what is the API. You send a request by typing it. You send the request, and then you get the response back using HTTP protocol, right? The HTTP protocol, right? It allows the computers from anywhere in the world to send requests to remote servers and get back the responses that can be displayed in your browsers. So this is what your internet, right? So okay, post is something like you want to create a blog. Let's say you want to create a new blog and you want to retrieve the blog which you created it, and you want to modify the blog. In that case, you need to use put. And if you want to delete the data from your remote server, you need to use something called delete. So these are the functions, built-in functions that are available. So using REST API, you can do that. Next one is the REST API, right? So REST API, so that is the one used by any site or application, okay? No matter in which language you have written a program, okay? Because the requests are based on universal HTTP protocol. Remember this. So, and the information usually retained in the form of JSON format, JSON file format, okay? JSON format. Or in some cases XML. Nowadays JSON is the JSON format is the one widely used because it is the advanced version of XML. XML also has some kind of flaws. So to overcome the flaws or disadvantages with the XML file, they introduce something called JSON. So the advantage of REST API is no matter in which language you have written the program or something like, okay. So basically what REST API does is it sends the request and receives the response using the universal HTTP protocol. Okay, that is what the REST API is all about. Okay, so REST stands for representative state transfer. Okay, REST is an API, that itself an API. The REST API, how it differs from this one is you can, irrespective of the programming languages that they used it, right? You can use REST API's HTTP protocol to send a request and get the response back. So that is what. So now you got a fair amount of what is REST API and REST API and all, and you have some idea about what this get. One second, let me see. Yeah, so get, put, post and all. See, client sends a request. Let's say you have you have your blog. Okay, you have written you are maintaining a blog in a cloud server. Okay, and what you are doing is you are using get function to view the blog. Okay, you are sending a request. Hey, send me this specific article. The server will send the response back to you via your HTTP protocol. Okay, using the get command. Okay, and post command. Let's say you want to create your own blog. Okay, if you want to write an article, you are writing it and you are submitting it to your server. Okay, and the next one is put. Now you want to modify some changes to your blog, or you want to delete the blog, right? So these are the commands that will be used. These are the commands are available as part of your HTTP protocol. So this is how it happens. Now what we will do is we'll use some in Power BI how we can use the API, REST API to pull the data. Okay, to pull the data. Okay, let me just So as usual, let us go to the get data, and here we can see something like O data feed. Okay, so O data is something like JDBC or ODBC, right? So for example, you wanted to, let's say in my laptop I installed SQL Server client. You remember SSMS, I installed it, right? And then SQL Server installed it. To communicate from SSMS to SQL Server, you need to have something like ODBC or something like that. Okay, it's all installed as part of the installation. So though something like this. So the O data is something like that. Okay, if you want to connect to the data that are available in cloud, right? So this is a REST API. So using which you want to send a request and get the data back from the servers, right? So you need to use this connectivity. For example, so in this case, we are sending a request to some server. You should be knowing which server you want to send the request. In my case, I remember services.odata.org, and here's something on Northwind, and Northwind. Supposing the data, the data which I'm trying to access it from this service, right? The RESTful service. If this data is available in your laptop, what will happen? Let's say daytime I'm very busy, midnight I wanted to access the data and see it, or let's say our peers are in USA, their daytime is our midnight. If they want to see the data night time, you will switch off your laptop, right? So your data, since you are powering off your laptop, the data will not be available to them. If it is available on some cloud or some server, right? So common server, anybody can hit that server. Those servers are having higher capacity servers. Okay, so the memory, and hard disk space, and a lot of security features, everything they implemented. It's a very expensive server. Okay, it is nowadays everything is available on cloud. So using this API, REST API, we are connecting to that data. So you need to have this URL. So now the question is, how do I remember this? So you need to ask your customer. I'll just send you the link here. Sorry, I just connected it. The chat window also I'll send you. You can also connect it. So look here, in this they're using, so in that end server, right, the target server, we could see a lot of tables are there. It is not single server. Maybe the data is available across multiple servers, but using this single RESTful API, we can connect to multiple servers wherein the table or data that are available using a single RESTful API. For example, now I am going to select customers, employees, whatever the table that you wanted. You can select it and click on load, it will get loaded. Now I am going to import it. Okay. So instead of loading the data from your CSV file or Excel file, we are loading the data from the cloud using the RESTful API. Look here. Let's assume that, right, if these tables are, customers table is available on one server, employees table available on another server, and rest of the tables are available multiple other servers. You don't have to remember each and every server name, right? You just use a single API to get all the tables. That is one of the advantages. Okay, you don't have to aware of the server name, where different tables stored, right, across different servers, which tables are stored. You don't have to be aware of the server name for each and every table or group of tables. Use a single API, you can connect it. That's it. Okay, with this you are able to understand how we can pull the data using REST API. So which is nothing but the OData feed. Okay, see, when you just click on, see, in some cases what will happen, the customers will give you the URL, the HTTP URL, right? They will give you that. So you need to specify it here, and you have something advanced option also. So URL preview or something like that. Okay, parts and all. And here we don't have direct or direct connectivity or import and all. It's not simply import. It will import the data. That's all. And to test this, we'll go to the data view. It will take time. You need to have patience. See, the data is available. We are able to see it, right? The data got imported locally. Okay, next one, we will take a look at the web data. Look here. Next one is web. Instead of using an API, is there any way if I can pull the data directly from a website? So for that, what I am going to do, let's use some Amazon.in, some site. And here I just want to see something like fashion. Men's clothing. Simply take the URL from which the URL you want to pull the data. That's all. You need to give the full sleeve or something like that. Okay, I just want to buy some t-shirt or something like that. So you need to simply copy this URL and then go to your Power BI desktop. From, I'll show you one more time. Just go to get data and web. Click on OK. Let's see if it connects. Otherwise, we'll use some other URL. So in that URL, if there are any table kind of, they used any table in HTML, right? So those things will be available. I'm not sure. Okay, like table is available. You just click on it. The data preview, right? So when use an athleisure. So when use an athleisure, when you click on this, what will happen? All these are 598, 879, those things, right? So 598, 879. Okay, the rate is not coming in this table. Okay, it shows us all the type of the clause that are available. And the next table, you can see that the column 1, the rates are available here. For each model or design of the t-shirt, this is available in other table. Okay, so you need to merge these tables in order to do some kind of comparison. So in this case, what we do is whatever the tables that are required for your analysis, you need to click on load and load it. And then what we do is, in some cases, we take the competitors data. For example, you work for Amazon and you want to do some competitor analysis for this brand of the t-shirt. Where is that? So when using athleisure men's regular fit t-shirt, for this in in Walmart or Target, it's on the competitors website, how much they sell it. Okay, So that you can do some kind of price analytics by taking different website, e-commerce website, the same type of model, price, you can take it, right, and then you can do some kind of comparison. So those kind of analysis you can do it. This is simple use case, okay, but in real time scenario, lot of use cases are there. So we take the feedback, customer feedback. The feedback will be in the form of text data. It is unstructured data. You need to clean the unstructured data, and then you need to extract insights. We have something called word cloud visual, word cloud, which I'm going to show you later as part of data visualization topic. Will explain you that one. Don't worry. Okay. So now we have explored how to pull the data using REST API. Okay, we have used a connector called OData feed, and the next one is web. How do we pull the data from website, any website? Not only Amazon, it depends on the company where you work, right? So they sometimes what will happen, they want to in the case of manufacturing company, right? So they want to see the vendor's price. You want to buy raw materials from different vendors. Sometimes, right, what you want to do, which vendors prices are very competitive and quality is good, right? You want to do some kind of analysis. So in that vendor analysis, okay, in that case, we go to their vendor's website and then we pull the data and we do analysis. Okay, fine. So far we discussed about connecting to different data sources, especially this one. Okay, let me just go. I don't know why am I getting this one. Internet connection is there. Next, we will take a look at how to do data transformation using Power Query Editor. Okay, so I just loaded this file, comma separated value file, sales underscore W04. But when I expand this, I could see that column 1, column 2, the column names are not in a proper, the column names are not in the proper name. Okay, it is showing column 1, very difficult to understand what these columns are. What maybe you can see the data here. If you go here, so you will have to make a guesswork here. But column 2 has column 3. What date is this? Shipped date or order date or due date? Which date is that? Right. So what is column and 22? Is this order number or is this an order number? Right. So the column names are not in the proper way. Right. So now I just go to the PowerPoint. We'll explain you what are the common data transformation that we do it in real-time scenario. So what we do is once we load the data, we do some kind of data formatting, and we remove the unnecessary columns or rows, and we sometimes we may have to split the columns, because what will happen is when you get the data from your customer, let's say you join with some company, Amazon or some Walmart, the very first day they give you the data. The data is not in the proper format, or before you proceed with generating the reports or dashboard, the first thing which you need to do is make sure that the data are available in the proper format. The data does not have any duplicate records. There are no missing values in it. In case of any missing values, you need to perform data imputation. So you need to do some kind of data cleaning, data transformation, everything you do it. So far we have seen how to extract the data from the website using REST API, using comma separated value, how we can extract those data. Extraction in the sense loading the data. Loading the data into Power BI desktop. Next one is transformation part, T. The T stands for transformation part. We want to see how best the data is, how good the given data is, right? So in case of the data has any missing values, anything, right, we need to clean it, we need to format it, and we need to change the data type and all. Formatting, as part of formatting, what we do is we change the data type also. Sometimes the wrong data type could would have been assigned by the Power BI tool. So what we will do is we will just go to the home ribbon. I just clicked on this. You can see the transform data. So when I click on this, it will open the Power Query Editor. I just gave you an analogy for Power Query Editor. It is a kind of a kitchen. We go and do all kind of data cleaning, data transformation, everything we do it here. Now I am here. Okay, so the next, one second, where is that? Okay, it has opened another thing. I just maximized it. Okay, so you can also download this file and you can also practice it along with me. You go to mygithub.com. This is the one. I'll send you the link in the chat window also. Please join the sessions right via your laptop. Okay, the Zoom you can connect from your laptop, so that whatever the commands that I send it, right, you can simply click on it in your laptop and then you can download it, everything. Look here, you just, all you need to do is just Control F. Somebody was asking me again how to download. Look here, I just click on here somewhere here, Control F. Look here I just type sales underscore W04. Look here, when the moment when I type W0, automatically it highlights this one. The CSV file is available. You just click on it. The next question is, how do I download the CSV? Look here, when I clicked on the sales W04.csv, it shows view raw or download. Click on download. Click on download. Okay, when you click on download, it will not get downloaded when it comes to CSV files. If it is an Excel file, it will get downloaded as an Excel file. When it comes to CSV file, it will not get downloaded. You need to simply use your keyboards Control A and Control C. Copy, select all these values and Control C, and then open a notepad and then Control V. You need to put Control V. And most of them, they get stuck here because they don't have IT programming background. So they don't have IT background. Okay, they don't know first of all how to use laptop, all the things. See now what happened. One second. What happened? It did not copy the entire thing. No, it copied. So you need to have patience. Okay, it will copy a little bit. It depends on your memory capacity. If you have 4 MB and all, right, don't panic. Just copied only few records. Don't panic. Wait for some time. The next step is click on file and save as. Here what you need to do is, for example, sales underscore W06, some name, okay, and .csv you have to give and embed it with double quote. So most of them, they don't understand. After the training program, they call me, ask me, so what, see, you can call me, ask me, but only thing is, make sure that during the training program itself, session itself, you are able to follow it. The same habit will be helpful at the time of once you get into a job, because Americans, they are very particular. You don't ask them all silly questions, they'll get angry, very angry. Look here, what did I do here to save the .csv file? I selected all files here, and in this case file name double quote. I started with the double quote, ended with the double quote. So what I did, I enclosed this file with 2 double quotes. Start with the double quote, end with the double quote. Sales 06 .csv. Right? So here I mentioned .csv because it's a comma separated value file. I want to save it. Now the question is, why should I embed this one? If you don't embed, what will happen is sales 06 .csv .text. By default, the text .txt extension will get included. To overcome that, because I need the file extension should be like this. It should not be like .csv .txt. If you don't put a double quote, it will put like this by default. Even if you give .csv behind the scene, it will put the extension .txt. That is the reason why. Please remember this. Okay, you need to practice this way. Remember this. Remember. Okay, don't ask me these questions. See, it is not that, okay, you can ask me questions. Please, inculcate this habit now itself, because lot of escalations are happening. once the employees are getting into project, okay, your manager will be in trouble, everybody will be in trouble. So Americans simply they complain, they don't even know how to save it as a .csv file. They will help you out if you ask them. But the problem is they will escalate it behind your scene. They will not copy the email to you. Whatever mistake you do it, right, they will not tell this to you. How to save a file as a .csv file from GitHub, right? So I just save it. It will show this file contains character Unicode. You can ignore it, click on OK. That's all. And then this file is ready to use. This is how the CSV, there is an exception to this, okay? All the other files, if you click on download, it will get downloaded, except the CSV files, okay? The CSV files, you need to do it this way only. The best thing what you do, once you go to my website, I always urge everyone, okay? So, because we don't know how long GitHub will be there forever, we do not know how long it will be there. Day in day, a lot of things are. See, when you go to this page, click on code. See this down arrow, right? List box. Download zip. When you click on this, all these files will get downloaded in the form of a zip file. Look here, Power BI main 2.zip. Please download it and keep it in your laptop. Don't postpone it. The same habit. Just enabling this recording. So now you understood. Click on the code. And here download zip and the file will get downloaded. If you open this, you will find all the files, whatever you see it here. So this is another way of so look here, when you download all the file, you don't have to copy paste the CSV file. Look here, the CSV files are available as it is, right? You don't have to see. If you download a single CSV file, in that case you need to click on this file here and open it, copy paste it to your notepad, and so do all these things. But still, in real-time project, if the situation demands or dictates you to download only one file, you should be knowing that also. But this is the best way. Simply download everything zip file. You don't have to copy paste and all. Okay, simple. Okay, we are done with the GitHub out now. I hope all of you are familiar with how to download the file from GitHub. And here you will find .csv, .xlx files, and you will find .pbix file. .pbix is nothing but Power BI report file. Look here, this is the report file. Once I store the data in Power BI desktop, once I load the data into Power BI desktop, when I save with some name, for example, file save as, if I give some name here, so day 4 session, something like that, okay? If I click save, what will happen is, look here, by default .pbx extension will get added here. So ex underscore day 4 underscore session .pbx will be here. So that is what your report file. The interview, they'll ask you, where the data will get stored. Let's say in that case the answer is, once I loaded the data into my Power BI desktop using import connectivity mode, the data will be available as part of my .pbix file itself. They might ask you this question also, what is the extension of the Power BI report file? .pbix file. I'll just go back here and I'll show you that one also. So this is ex day 4 session.pbx. Can you see that? This is 2 MB. The extension is .pbx. Okay, .pbx. Remember this. Power BI report file extension .pbx. You need to remember this. We have some other file .pbat. We'll explain it later. So all right, we are all set. Next, what we will do is, next what we will do is, we will see how we can perform data transformation. So before we perform data transformation, let us understand what the common data transformation that we do it. So let's say you receive the data from your customer, you joined and you joined as a data analyst, Power BI developer or data analyst in a company. The very first day, let's say they are giving the data. So what you do is see if any formatting needs to be done for any columns, or if any columns that needs to be removed, you just check it out. And these are the things, that steps that you need to carry out. Okay, but it is not mandatory that you are supposed to carry out each and everything. On a case to case basis, you need to use these things. Okay, these are the commonly used data transformation. So before we proceed with the data transformation, right, all these formatting, removing the unnecessary columns and splitting the columns, sometimes all the data, let's say two columns data got stored in a single column itself. If a single column has two columns data, right, so it is not in a proper readable format. So in that case, you need to split that column into two different columns for the sake of readability, all the things. Okay, and also filter. We don't need the entire data, only the subset of the data. In that case, you need to filter it. So these are the common transformations we do it. Okay, now let us understand the big picture before we proceed with the data transformation in Power BI desktop. So typically, once you join a company, right, so most of the companies, they have source system. This is called operational source system or source system. Source system is nothing but, for example, you are working with Amazon company. So customers order the products, everything via Amazon e-commerce website. All the customers ordered details, including their shipping address, customer name, or products, and the price, or the invoice detail, everything gets stored in their database. Let's assume that in the database, all the things are getting stored. This is your operational day-to-day orders raised by customers, or cancelled orders, or modify the orders. Everything is happening in the source system. This is called your operational source system. Okay, so now this is operational source system. This is happening automatically. We don't have to do anything from our side. Okay, but from the reporting point of view, your manager tells you, hey, the data is available in this database, right? So you need to pull the data, and this is what my requirement. You need to show me a report wherein it should show the sales breakdown by the region and by quarter. Okay, sales breakdown by region by quarter. So that's all he will tell. But he will tell you, oh, these are the source systems are available, database 1, database 2, database. You need to go and check to generate this report, what columns are required. So those columns are available in which database, in which table. You need to go and check it out. Sometimes they will give you everything in an Excel sheet. Okay, so you don't have to do that one also. So in that case, right, okay, in the Excel sheet they mention so and so table in so and so database has so and so columns. Extract those tables related data, put it in a staging area. So what we do is, first step is we extract the data. So in our case, what we did so far in Power BI desktop, how to extract the data, which is nothing but loading the data from your CSV file, loading the data from your Excel into your Power BI desktop. These are called extraction. Loading the data is not sufficient. You need to do data cleaning. You need to check how well the data is. In case of the data has any problem in it, you need to fix it. It is something like, there is an adage, right? So there is a proverb, garbage in, garbage out. If if the data is not clean, if it has a lot of issues, and with that, if you develop a report, what will happen is, the report will not show the accurate result. The management will get frustrated by seeing the report which has a inaccurate values in it. Okay, it's kind of a credibility issues, right? So tomorrow when you share a report, definitely they will say, so this person is Kumar report is not reliable. Yesterday he showed me a lot of issues, where a lot of mistakes were in the data. I don't know how reliable this one, right? So hence you need to make sure that you are cleaning the data. The data is clean. Do we need to do any data? Everything we do it. So that is called your staging area. So simply right, so what we do is we simply extract the data and put it in a staging area. So sometimes what we do is we use the SQL stored procedure. Okay, stored procedure, something called, I'll just use this one. This is not there, right? Okay. Something like SQL. Here's something called stored procedure. Don't worry, I'll explain you. You just think something like using stored procedure. We extract all the data as it is from my source system to staging area. Simply load the tables that are required to develop your report. Right? Those tables you simply pull it and load it here, and then you do the transformation in this area. You are going to do the data transformation staging area. Why we are doing the data transformation? Why can't we do the data transformation while extracting the data itself? Let's say these databases are already accessed currently. Let's by now, what is the time now? It is 10 p.m. IST. Let's say across the globe, an Amazon e-commerce website, the users are the customers are accessing it. Let's say every 1 hour 1 million transactions are happening. 1 million customers are accessing this database. That time when you pull the data and when you try to join the tables and when you do data cleaning, everything, what will happen is this will add additional burden on this. And already many customers are raising the order and they are deleting the order, modifying the order. Already this system is busy with this. It is something like you are in the exam, they have given you 10 papers. Your final year exam is there. Already you are very busy preparing for the 10 subjects. On top, if somebody ask you to read 5 more topics or 5 more subjects, what will happen? You will be overburdened. The same principle is applicable here also. Simply what you do is copy paste it here. It's, in crude term, okay, extract the data as it is to your staging area. In the staging area also, right, we use some database, or simply the data will be extracted and stored as a .csv file also, comma separated files. Once the files are available, the copy of my source system files are available here, what I do is I will use my Power BI desktop, Power Query editor. I told you kitchen, right? So what we do is we will do data, merge the table. Some cases we have to join more than one table or merge the tables, and then what we do is we filter the data. We don't need all the data from the tables. What data that because he wants to see the quarter 1 data only, right? Quarter 1 or quarter 2 data, region wise, quarter 1 and quarter 2 wise sales. He wants to see the sales performance. So in that case, quarter 1 and quarter 2 data alone you need to filter it, extract the data, and second step is you need to merge the table, and quarter 1 and quarter 2 data you need to merge it, and then you need to before you merge it, make sure that you are extracting only the quarter 1 quarter 2 out of the 4 quarters data. Okay, and then what you need to do is you need to do other data formatting, everything. Finally, once you format the data, once the data is clean, once you merged all the required data, right, so now your data is ready to use. In that case, you need to push that ready to use data to your data warehouse. The data warehouse will hold the historical data. So what is a data warehouse? Data warehouse will hold the historical data in it, right? It will have the historical data in it. For example, I want to have 5 years of data here, right? So here in the operational source system, what we do is we bring it to the source staging area, all the data, and duplicate. Simply we duplicate the data because we don't want him to be overburdened. Okay, so and then what we do is we will clean the data, and then we load the processed or pre-processed or cleaned data to your data warehouse. So every day, weekly, on a daily basis or weekly basis, we'll keep load the data into data warehouse tables. This data have the data warehouse will have the historical data in it, 5 years data. Each year, let's say you have 0.5 petadata, volumes or the data is there. 5 year put together, let's assume that close to 3 petabyte volume of data are there. The volume of the data is very high. Historic. Why you need to store the historical data? Because you want to do some kind of comparison. What is the current year sales compared to last year sales? And year on year sales comparison. Year on year quarter comparison. Sales, quarter wise sales comparison. Are we really making, progress in the sales or revenue, in each category? So in that kind of situation, you need to have 4 years or 5 years of data. Hence, the volume of data is very high, and setting up the data warehouse is also very expensive. It involves a lot of cost, maintenance, all the things are there. Because once you store the historical data here, using Power BI, you can create the charts, right? You can create the reports, and you can perform time-based analysis also. What is the current year sales, last year sales, last 5 years, first quarter, what is the sales? You can compare it side by side. You can do like for like analysis. You understood? Using Power BI, also we can do the data transformation, data cleaning, everything. So in Power BI, using Power Query Editor, we do all these things. And then we load the processed data into data warehouse. Why we need a data warehouse? Because in the data warehouse, we need to store historical data. Now the question is, in the staging area, why we need it? Staging area is a temporary area. Here we don't store historical data. So day-to-day data, whatever comes, we transform it and then we load it. Once the data, cleaned data, we load it here. We will remove the data here. Okay, this is something like a temporary area. Okay, you just think that way. Okay, and right. So anyhow, I'm not going to discuss. So this is called your loading part. ETL. Remember this. E stands for extraction. T stands for transformation. You can do data transformation in Power BI. So that's what one of my students, right? He attended an interview. He was not able to, as part of ETL, what you did. He was literally panicked. Fine. So E stands for, so in the interview they'll ask you, as part of ETL, what are the things, what are the tasks that you did? So we simply extract the data from CSV file. It is not that all the data in the source system available in Excel file, database. Some data are available in CSV file, some data are available in JSON files. So different types of files are, in some companies, right? They use different types of sources like a CSV file, JSON files, and Excel files, Parquet files, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle Server, Hadoop system. As a data analyst, it is my response to pull the data from the source system and then load it into staging area. It's all automated. Every day by 10 a.m. so-and-so data will get pushed here, and every day by noon there are some table data will get pushed here. It's all automated. Okay, and then the data cleaning, data transformation, everything also automated. Okay, we do automation, and then what you do is, simply what will happen is, we have some scheduler tool. 10 a.m. every day, my manager wants to see the daily sales summary report, region wise, week on week comparison. Okay, so in that case, what every day 10 a.m. what will happen is, it will pull the data and clear. So by, let's 10 a.m. is not exactly 10 a.m. By 8 a.m. it will pull the data and it does the cleaning. Everything is automatic. We schedule it everything in a scheduler. Extraction, separate script, separate program, and then and then data transfer, separate program. So this one will run after this. After the successful loading of the data from your source system to staging area, another job will get kick-started automatically. That job will do all kind of cleaning, formatting, everything, and then by 9:50 the data will get the cleaned data will get pushed here. The pre-processed data will get pushed here. By 9:50, Power BI, what it does is, it extracts the data and then it renders the visuals. It populates the data in the visuals, the clustered bar chart, tree map, those chart. This data will be populated. So exactly by 10 a.m. that report is ready. That report will, maybe the manager wants to see the report in the form of .pdf file. That report will get converted as a .pdf file, and then it will send to his email automatically by 10 a.m. It's all automated. Okay, so right, so that is the reason why most of the people, right, they want the self-driving car is also automatic. Everything is automated. They want to save the time. They want to save the manual effort. So in the case of Walmart, a daily basis 800 reports needs to be generated. If so, to generate each and every report, if you put one staff, what will happen? You need 800 staffs, right? So 800 reports needs to be generated, and that too they have 2500 different places. They have stores. Let's assume that each store 800, let's say reasonably, let's 200 reports. 200 into 2500. If you do it manually, it will take a lot of time. Timeliness is very important. So they want to receive the report on time, so that they can make the decision at the right time with the right correct data, right? So with the report. Hope you understood what is ETL. Simply extract the data and push it to staging area. But you might be asking this question, in all the companies, do they have a separate area called staging area? So this staging area is also available as part of the data warehouse. There are separate common database like data warehouse. Within this, logically they say it's a staging area, this is your data warehouse, right? And then from year to year you load it. So instead of putting this the database thing here, I put it here, that's all. Okay, so end of the day, this one and this one are available in a single database. Okay, maybe two different databases that is available in a single server, right? Okay, so now you understood. Next, using Power Query Editor, we do data transformation, everything. I just show you this one. I think I did not make it part of this one. One second. These are the common transformation we do it, okay, in general. This is what I have shown it in the image. So this is the image, right? This is what I have shown it in the form of icons. Here we will see in detail. So what do you mean by cleaning? So these are the common data transformation we do it. Let's say your manager has given you the data. So first you check, okay, do we have any missing values are there? In case of any missing blank values are there, so you need to check with your manager. You need to tell him, hey, these are the columns I could see blank values are there, which is nothing but null. So what you know is, if he says, hey, you replace it with 0, okay, fine, right? Or let's say you have some kind of categorical variable, gender column, right? Not a numeric. Let's say you have quantity variable. The quantity column, you could see somewhere blank values are there. You are telling your manager, what can I do? See, it tells you wherever blank values are there in quantity, you put, or replace the blank by 0. Okay? Or he will tell you something else. Okay, it should not be like a blank value. Okay, so make it 0. Let's, for example, at this moment, assume that it tells you to replace all the blank values by 0 in the quantity column. Fine. Next, I have a gender column. The gender column, I have something called male, female is there. He tells you don't put male, female, simply replace the male by M. Or some cases, what will happen? M, F will be there. He will tell you replace the M by male, replace the F by female. So you need to check with them. They will give you all the requirements in the specification, based on which you need to replace the values. Okay, this is also called as cleaning or formatting. All these activities falls under what? Data transformation. Okay. So next one is deduplication. In case of any duplicate values are there. For example, you purchased a product let's say you purchased a product today morning by 10 a.m. The invoice number is 100. The same record is by mistakenly, if you load it into your target, what will happen? It will show you, as though more sale happened, because double counting, duplicate records. Actually, you purchased only one time. The same record appears more than one time in my data set mistakenly. So in that case, what will happen? So today morning you spent 1000 rupees. Evening same record will be there because of mistake. 1000 plus 2000, double counting happen. So make sure that you don't have any duplicate records are there in your data set. Before you build a report, before you create a dashboard, make sure that you are Doing this are the common steps. Okay, so any duplicate records, if in case of any duplicate, remove it so that your data will be accurate. Next one is formatting, right? Assign relevant data types. For example, in this case, look here, the order date column 7 and your first value. Okay, so followed by the 7 you have the forward slash, and 31 followed by the 31 your forward slash, and 2012 is there. Since you are using forward slash between these numeric values while reading this data into Power BI, what Power BI does is it assigns these kind of values or these kind of values. If it finds in your column, let's say the column is, in this case the column is order date, if it finds something like the mix of the forward slash and number value, it assign a text data type. Look here, ABC along with the column name, right? You can see the data type. So ABC, or ABC is nothing but text data type. So in that case you need to make sure that you are going to convert this as a date data type. So that is what we do it, formatting, and then character set conversion and measurement conversion, everything we do it. And next one is filtering. Okay, I have the data, my manager gave me this data, but not all the rows are required for manual. Let's assume that this one has 6 month data, but all we need just last 2 months data only is there. We need it, but he is a very busy guy. He gives you some Excel sheet, he send it to you. It is your headache, but he explained very clearly, last 2 months, the recent 2 months sales performance I needed. So I don't know what you are going to do, whether you are going to remove the data. So in that case you need to remove or filter the data, right? Subset of the data only you need to take it. So last 2 months only, we don't need all the data. You take only last 2 months. That is what you're filtering, subset of the data. I don't take, you don't have to take the entire data. Only the portion of the data alone I needed. Not only the portion of the data, or the columns also. Not all the columns are required for manual. Not all the rows are required. Look here, not all the rows are required, not all the columns are required. Right? Some columns are not required for my reporting, right? So in that case, I will remove all the unnecessary columns, unnecessary rows. That also we do it as for the data transformation. And filtering, splitting a single column into multiple columns, and joining, linking data from multiple sources. For example, your manager wants to see last 4 weeks sales, but each week's sales is available in a separate file. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You need to combine these two into a single file. Okay. The next one is derivation. Applying business rule to data. For example, the order data has something like the order number, order date, and I just type it here. So in your order data, you have something called order number, in that data set. If you see in Excel, order date, something like that, it will be there. Okay, and see the same Excel, whatever we see, right, the same thing, right? So all the columns will be there, everything is there, but your manager wants to see the revenue, net margin. He is very particular with net margin and net revenue. Okay, and region wise, right? Each region, let's say they do the business across 4 regions, east, west, north, south. In each region, what is the net revenue, net margin for quarter 1 and quarter 2, or last 4 weeks, you give me that. Right, so in this case, how many number of columns are required? Only 5 columns. But how many columns we have it in the data set? You have so many columns, we don't need all the columns. And do we have the columns with this name available? Net margin, net revenue is not available. You have sales, quantity, price is there. You need to create these 2 new columns. For that, you need to use some formula, that is called your derivation. You need to derive a new column based on the existing column. Quantity into rate will give you the sales amount. Okay, but that is not the the revenue, right? You need to subtract the cost from it. Selling price minus cost price is the profit, right? So how do you arrive at profit? You need to subtract the cost price from your selling price. that is what your net margin. You just think that. For that, you need to create a new column based on the existing column. Likewise, you need to create new column. Those are called your derived variables, derived columns. Okay, you are deriving a new column, net margin, net revenue, based on the existing column. Already you have quantity, price. With that, you are creating a new column called sales amount. Using then the sales amount, what you are doing is you are subtracting the cost for each product, so that you will get the net margin or net revenue, and then you will apply some other thing, and then you will put margin also, right? You will arrive. So you need to have create two new columns based on the existing column. What is the existing one? Sales amount minus cost amount. Let's that is also available in your data set. Sales minus cost, that is nothing but your net margin or net revenue, and then you need to apply something else, some other formula. So all these formulas, business logics, will be given by your manager or customer, okay, in the requirement specification. Finally, data validation, right? So as part of data validation, right, so you need to make sure that all the required columns, these are the columns, all these columns, I need to have data in it. In case of any missing value, I need to reject or need to do some other process, right? So these are the, remember in the interview they'll ask you, as part of data transformation, what are the steps that you carried out. So what we did, wherever nulls are there, we replaced with 0, and then we found some duplicate records, we removed those duplicate records, and then we have excluded the columns that were not required for our analysis, and then some data type conversion. Okay, so Power BI, while reading the data which has numeric value and text value in it or any special character, it will consider that as a text data type. Actually, this is a date data type. This is a date data type, isn't it? This is a date data type. But Power BI, since it has the mix of numeric value as well as forward slash, it assigned this one as a text data type. We need to smartly convert this a date data type. Now let us see how we can convert a date data type. Before we convert the data type, everything, first of all, we need to make sure the column names are available here. This is called your column header. This is called your column header. Sorry, wait a second. This is your column header, right? So here row ID should go here, the row ID should go here, and then order ID should go here, order date should go here, ship date should. So how do I do that? If I do it manually, it takes a lot of time. I can't even open the Excel file. In real time scenario, the CSV files, you cannot open it by going to the operating system. You are not allowed to open that also. You should be able to load it here, but you cannot go to your operating system, open the file, you cannot do it there. Okay, you will not have the privileges. Okay, you are going to access cloud, and cloud also they will give you some server IP address, everything, using which you are going to do it. Okay, so what we are doing is here, you just go to the click on the transform ribbon. Here use first row as it is. You need to click on it. Use first row as it is. So what I am trying to say is, use this first row as an header. But is this a first row here? No, right? It's a second row. So hence what I do is, I just click on first row. So what happens? This one will become a header here. Again, it is not a proper thing. Again, I click on use first row as header. So this one, I try to make this an header. Look here, row ID, order ship date. This is my column header, row header. Okay, row header. So now it is perfect. So this column has values for row ID. This column has values related to order ID. This is related to order date. Fine. So now we define the row header properly using this option. Use first row as headers, right? Use headers as first row. That is also we can do it, but in our case, this is what we need to do. We want the column names were available in the row. We push this with this simple by selecting this one, right? The next step is we are going to check the data type. Row IDs of this one is not required. I'm going to remove it. For my analysis report creation, that column is redundant. I don't need it. I removed it. The order ID is required. Order date, ship date is required. Order date is required. But order date, Power BI, while reading the values from this column, it wrongly assign order date and ship date as text data type. Each column name, if you see right, just before the column name, you will find the icon like ABC, 123. 123 is something like a whole number. Quantity is obviously whole number. Discount is it's a decimal value, right? Fine. So here what we do is order date. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here, listen, watch carefully, don't get distracted. I just keep the cursor here, right click on it, and I'm going to replace the values. So what I'm going to do is, there is some kind of inconsistency in the data. If you see here, if you check all the data here, right? So month, date, year formatted. Here also month, date. Look here, with this we are able to understand, oh, this is month, date, year only. Correct. All the values stored in the order date columns are in the form of month, date, year only. Very good. But the problem is, in the first row of the value in this column, right, we can see 7 followed by forward slash, 31 followed by forward slash. But in the second row, the date followed by hyphen, month followed by hyphen. All the format should see, if you have used forward slash, you can use forward slash here also consistently. Why mix of hyphen forward slash, right? What I am going to do is, I am going to replace all the hyphen. Click on the replace values. See, if you are really smart, you should be doing it side by side. Don't give me excuses. Okay, forward slash values to find. Find the hyphen, wherever the hyphen is there, replace that with my forward slash. Click on OK. If I do it, what will happen? All the values in the column will get replaced by forward slash. Look here. Now hyphen is no longer available. All the hyphens got replaced with forward slash. Okay, now the data looks consistent, and here we can see that empty is 0. Very good, right? Valid is 100%, but still it remains as a text data type. Replacing the forward slash or hyphen is not only sufficient, you need to explicitly convert as a date data type. But when it comes to date data type, right, so how do I change the data type? Click on this icon and see here, these are the data types that are available. You will have something like date, time, but when it comes to date data type, click on using locale. Click on this. It will take some time, you need to wait. Look here, I just clicked on the locale. In the data type, you need to specify date, okay, and English India, because here the data is available in this form, month, date, year. Month, date, year is US date format. So in that case, English United States. So you need to select English United States. English United States. I'm done with this. So date data type, locale is English United States. Click on OK. Look here, this ABC icon went off. Now we could see some kind of calendar. This is the proper data type, right? Date data type. And empty is 0, error is 0, valid 100%. Perfect. We are able to successfully convert this column as a date data type. Similarly, ship date. So here what we do is, here also some inconsistencies there. Right click on it, replace values, replace all the hyphen by forward slash, click on OK. The next step is ABC icon and then using locale. It will take some time. Okay, data type is date, English United States. English United States, date data type, English United States. Click on OK. This one will get converted date data type. Look here, calendar. And then next one is here, if you scroll across here, you will find something like sales. Look here, sales column is in text data type. Is that correct? Can someone say, is that correct? What can we do now? Let me see how many of you can answer it. If I keep on talk, it will be boring. You tell me what can we do now. So the sales is now, Power BI assigned text data type to this sales column. It is wrong. Can you add, subtract or divide anything with a text data type? You cannot do it, right? Let me see how many have answered. Srinath, replace text value with 0. Very good, right? So sales should be an text value with 0. No, sales should be an decimal data type. Very good, Tulasi. And Abhinaya, change NA to 0. How about Vishal or Ashish? Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is I just go and check it. I'm not going to change the data type immediately, or I'm not going to replace anything now. I just go and see here, error is 0, empty is 0. If I scroll down a little bit, I can see NA is also there. NA is nothing but missing blank values. If you open the file, data file, you will find blank spaces here. When Power BI reads any column which has blank values, it assigns that blank value with NA by default. Okay. So NA is there. And why we got text data type? Because look here, the value 2 is prefixed by dollar. Since there is a mix of the special character with the numeric value, even if you have only one value in a column, right, text data type, it will consider entire value, entire column itself as a text data type. This is common in all the programming languages. You take any programming languages, in the data set, if you have only one value, or if a column has only one value that is in text data type, the entire column itself will be considered as a text data type. There is something called order of precedence. I'm not going to discuss this now. Okay, now how are we going to convert this a decimal data? Say it's a decimal, it is not a whole number. How do we convert this? We can click on it here. Simply we can click on fixed decimal or decimal number, but that is not going to be a solve. Okay, if I do it, let's see what happens. If I click on decimal number, it shows error because there's a text data type, right? Rest of them are fine, but we lost this data. So how do I revert this one? Click on applied steps. Look here, I'm going to revert this one. See here, Control Z will not work. Remember this. Okay, here what I'm going to do is a dollar. I need to right click on it, replace values, replace the dollar by blank value, some empty string. So what happened? So the $2039, right? So the dollar went off now. Dollar went off. I removed the dollar. Because of the dollar mixed with the numeric value, this column got converted as a text data type. I removed the dollar now. But still ABCs remain, it remains a text data type. I need to explicitly say either fixed decimal or decimal. Click on decimal number. Look here, it got converted as a decimal number, but here I can see error, right? I know very well this error is due to NA, missing values, right? Replace errors by 0. Click on OK. So we did, these are called data transformation. We are transforming the data into the proper format. Look here now, empty is 0, error also 0. Make sure that you don't have any error, you don't have any empty values in your each and every column or the columns that you are using it. Okay, very good. It is a valid 100%. It should be 100% valid. Okay, perfectly we did the transformation. This column doesn't require any data transformation because Power BI assign the right data type. In this case, a whole number. Discount is a decimal data type, and profit is also a decimal data type. And shipping cost, order period, return, everything is I don't need a return here. You can remove this column. Whatever column you don't need it, you can remove it. Yeah, convert to decimal data type. We don't have to convert to decimal data type. Only this one, sales column, we did it. Okay, so profit, everything, the rest of them are all decimal data. 1.2, 1.2, these are all nothing but decimal values, which is a rounded value like 1, 2, 3, which means it's a whole number. It's a whole number. Okay. Fine, we did all the data. We converted the data type successfully. We are able to do all the things. Fine. The next one is, so how did I get valid error empty? If you go to view ribbon, you will find something called column. One second. You have something called column quantity. quality. Okay, if you toggle this and if you select this one, display this one. Okay, if you unselect this, it will disappear. Okay, it is always good to enable this one, so that it will help you to understand quickly the quality of each and every column. You are not supposed to have any error because you are going to use, let's assume that all these columns values. Okay, make sure that each and every column you find valid. You need to do it fat. The speed should also be very good. Okay, if you do it slowly, it will be problem. Okay, very good. So we are able to successfully transform the data. All right, this is a basic simple data transformation. Now let us go and see, is there any other columns that we look here. I have given a column something like country, state. Splitting the column, I'm talking about splitting the column. Look here, I was talking about this one, splitting a single column into multi-column. In this column, what happened? The country name and the state name, they've given me together. I need to separate this column, right, into, so I need to divide this into two different columns. Country name should appear in only country name should appear in a country column, and state column, I need to get a separate column. State column, it should only the state for each and every country. It should not, we are not supposed to combine these two in the single thing. So how do I split this? So here, so this in this a bit complex one, we have something called column from examples, which I will explain it later. With that, we will see how we can split a single column into more than one column. Okay, so this part we will do it later. And then next one is that's all, we are done with everything, right? So next you need to click on File, Close and Apply. So what do you mean by close and apply? Apply all the transformation that I did it to the data permanently. Look here, this is my data view. So now you need to wait for some time. Okay, you need to have a lot of patience. Don't click cancel in between. Okay, all your transformations will not get applied if you click on cancel. So now it shows in the data view, it shows column 1, column 2. That we changed it in the query Power Query editor. That changes are all being applied now. Soon you will find, look here, now we can see the meaningful column name, right? And we can see the meaningful column name here, and we can see everything meaningful value here, right? So and if you see here, you scroll towards the right side. On the right side, you will find something like sales column. When you click on the sales column, you will find sales, decimal number, and quantity is something like whole number, and discount is also, discount is a decimal number, and profit is look here also you can see the data type. When you click on a column, this menu will get activated. Shipping cost is a decimal number, right? Fine. So now we are able to successfully transform the data. Now you understood the common data transformation. The next question is how can I find out the duplicate values, all the things. Okay, we will go to the transform data one more time. Power Query editor. So now we say, by default it selected the correct data type. In your case, you need to make sure that are you clicking the correct data type. Okay, only then you can use it. Sales W04, this is the one we are working on it. And next you just click on transform, and if you keep the cursor here, if you just hover the cursor here, you will find something like the same thing, right? Valid, 100%, 0 error, 0 empty, and you find these three dots, right? These three dots are called your ellipses. When you just click on this, you will find keep duplicates, remove duplicates. Look here, if you have duplicate records, it remove it. But if you select a specific column and if you remove duplicates, it's a very dangerous one. You need to be a bit cautious. Okay, for example, in the quantity column, if you choose this one, what will happen? Can someone tell you what will happen? The quantity column, if I remove duplicates, what will happen? That's it. 100 customers, they would have ordered some items, with quantity 8888. That doesn't mean it is duplicate, right? In that case, you are not supposed to use it. But there are some cases, right? It is applicable. Okay, so you need to, use common sense, and then you need to do it. But these are the options that are already available. Sorry, if you keep the cursor here, and sometimes I don't want to remove the duplicates, keep duplicates. He's giving you options, okay. And then remove duplicates, keep errors, remove empty, remove errors, replace errors. All these options are available. Or if you want to copy the data, you can copy it. So this is how in the interview they'll ask you, how do you remove the duplicates? So each column, what we do is we have something called in the view ribbon, under view ribbon we have something called column quality. Once I select it, and each column I could see the column quality, valid, error, empty. When I hover the cursor on top of the valid or error, empty, it will shows the ellipse. When I click on the ellipse, I will find remove duplicates. When I click on the duplicate, it will remove it. Alright, so that is how you need to tell. So far you learnt about, that is called deduplication. Deduplication is removing the duplicates. We remember NEA, right? NEA replaced with 0, and then remove the duplication. Formatting, date data type, we convert the date data type. Sales column, we convert this decimal data type. And filtering, we select only the specific rows. And how do I select only the specific rows? For example, I just want to select only the, here we don't have month date here. Okay, I'll show you that one also now. See, what I do is I just select order date, right click on it, duplicate column. I just duplicate it. Look here, order date column got duplicated, but the column name is different now since it is a duplicate, right? It put in a suffix like copy. And then what I do is I go to, already it is in view. Sorry, we need to go to transform, not transform, home okay, home ribbon. In the home ribbon you will find something like data type, date, not this one. I think it is available in view, not here. I think in transform. Yeah, in the transform ribbon, under transform you will find date here. Okay, I want to extract only year from this column. Look here, this column has only year in it, right? So I'm going to say year. Okay, year. So this is a derived variable. So as part of data transfer, what you did, I just removed the duplicates. I properly specified the row headers, and then I just replaced the null values by 0, and also we created a new column, derived variable. So what are the derived variables? The order date, we want to extract only the year column. See, order date, I create duplicate. On top of that, I have used extracted only the year from the order date. So here, so that what will happen is, if somebody is asking you what is the sales between, I want to see the sales for 2000 and 2012 only. So what we do is we can simply look here. I just clicked on this, this drop down list. Here I can see how many years are there, right? So my manager is interested in recent 2 years, 2013. So this is how we excluded the unnecessary rows. So now we have the data only for the 2013. So now you understood how helpful to have a separate column for year, right? So with this, we are able to quickly filter 2013 and 2014 related data alone, right? If you don't have this, what will happen? It's difficult, right? How will you, if you want to extract only 2013-14, you cannot, you look here, it's a long list. Manually you need to go and search. It's a painful thing. In this case, we have less number of data in real time scenario, Walmart and all, right? Petabyte, millions and millions of records. You cannot keep scroll down. But here, when you have a year column, year will show only maximum, right? 4 years or 5 years. Only 4 unique values it will show. Selecting only 2 values is a smart way of doing it, right? Instead of selecting 2013 first January 1st 2013, January 2nd 2013, if you select each and every 365 days into 1 million transactions, it's painful thing. Simply, if you have a column by the name of year, your job is pretty simple, right? Similarly, you can extract quarter also. For example, I'm going to select the same order date column here, and I just go to the date. Here I'm going to say the quarter of the year. I just click on it here. Sorry, here, that's what you're not supposed to select the column and directly go and select date. So what I do is, what will happen is it will replace the existing values by quarter itself. I want the original column back, original values to be back, hence I reverted it. So I'm going to duplicate it one more time, duplicate column. Here I now this column got selected, and I just say quarter, extract quarter of the year. Look here, 2013, we have 1, 4, 3. Let's say if my manager wants to see 2013 and 2014, he wants to see only the quarter 3 and 4 sales. Now your data volume get reduced. Subset of the data you're doing it, right? You are just narrowing down. The volume of the data is very less here. But here unfortunately we don't have 3 and 4 is not there. 4 is there, right? Why? Okay. 3 and 4 is there. Yeah, 3 and 4. Look here, the volume of data got reduced. This is called filtering. I just quarter. So if you don't want to filter it, you just go here, and if you want to change the filtering condition, you unselect it. Okay. Sorry, you need to click on 1 second. List maybe load more. Okay, load more. 3 and 4. I just unselect everything. Sorry, you need to click on this filtered one. Okay, look here on the right side. You need to undo it. Okay, the right side thing you need to undo it. So filtered. I don't want to filter this one. Display all the things. Mistakenly, if you filter right, so 3 and 4, later you realize, no, I need all the quotas. No, still it is there. Filtered rows, right? Renamed columns, let it be there. Mistakenly I remove this one again. It means undo the changes. Okay, don't filter it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I just rename it as a quarter now. So now you have quarter. So within 2013 and 14, I want to see quarter 3 and 4 related sales, right? So it is pretty simple. If you have a column like quarter, it shows, see, it's pretty faster, right? In 2000, otherwise, if you have to do it manually, how long it will take? So this is month, date, year. Okay, February is first quarter, and 10th month is which quarter? And supposing you have a 7th month is which quarter? You have to think and do it. Here it's a matter of second. All you need is go transform, click on this date, and select the column that you want to extract the quarter, year, right? And then select date, right? That's it. Pretty simple and faster. Similarly, you can extract month, date. That is going to be an assignment for you all. So I want you to extract month, date, and day also. Look here, order date. You can duplicate the column one more time, and then what you do is you just select this column, go to date, and then what your day level, right? So if you want to see the day, click on day. It will gives you this one. No, I don't want this one. Look here, I don't want this one. I want the original data. Undo this. So this is the one, but we will see if we can extract the day by name. Name of day. We have some name of day. We want this one. Say Tuesday, Thursday, something. Name of day, right? See, just by pointing and clicking it, irrespective of the year or date or month, right? We are getting the name of the day in a jiffy. Okay. So now the question is, what am I going to do with this name? So your manager wants to see only the weekend sales, Saturday and Sunday. He is very particular, right? So Saturday, Sunday sales. Look here, you can select it, and it shows only the Saturday. So how helpful having the columns with these values, right? So name of the day, so or day. Simply put day, something like that. And month. Similarly, you extract month and week also. That is an assignment for you all. Okay. So now we created a new column based on the existing column. Which column We extract year, quarter, day. All of you please type it in the chat room. Let me see how many of you remember it. Oh, it got disconnected. No, call is there, right? Okay. So which column we used to derive these three columns? Order, date. Hence these three columns are called your derived columns. Okay, derived columns. Right, these are year, quarter, derived columns. We created year, quarter, day. These are as part of the data transfer. We did this one also. You need to say what are the, as part of ETL, what we did, we extracted the data and then we did a data transformation, like we did the type change, data type changes, and formatting we did it. And also we created new columns like year, quarter, day from my order date, and we removed the duplicate records, and we splitted the columns, right? So you need to tell like this, you need to tell. Okay, so formatting, filtering, we filtered the data, we joined the data from more than one. This one we will see it in the next session. So next session we will have it on this Friday, because next 2 days I'll be very busy. This Friday same time we will have the session. All right, any questions so far? All of you please try this one. Okay, all the data, everything is available. You need to try it in your laptop with your Power BI desktop. So we will discuss in the next session how to load the Excel data into SQL Server in the upcoming session. Don't worry, till then you practice this. Any questions so far with respect to today's session?